השמיים, והוא רואה אותך, והוא אוהב אותך, תמיד שומר מלמעלה, גם אם קצת קשה לך מלמעלה, הוא תמיד איתך, ואם רק תתבונן דקה אחת או שתיים, תראה בכל דבר סימן מהשמיים, והוא רואה אותך, והוא הולך איתך, תמיד שומר מלמעלה. כן, זה הכל מלמעלה. הכל מלמעלה. ולא תמיד זה קל לראות, הסיבות נעלמות, אבל תזכור, יש מי שמסובב אותן, זה לא אני, גם לא אתה. בשמיים, והוא רואה אותך, והוא אוהב אותך, תמיד שומר מלמעלה, גם אם קצת קשה לך מלמעלה, הוא תמיד תמיד איתך, ואם רק תתבונן דקה אחת או שתיים, תראה בכל דבר סימן מהשמיים, והוא רואה אותך, והוא הולך איתך, תמיד שומר מלמעלה. רבות אברהם הזה בדרך, ואני הולך עם ראש למעלה, כל אחד הוא בן או בת של מלך. ככה היה וככה זה גם עלה, יהודי עם נשמה בוערת, בכל מקום ובכל ארץ, לא רוצה שיהיה אחרת. יהודי אני זה משהו נצחי, בני אברהם, יצחק ויעקב, בני שרה רבקה רחל ולאה, בני אברהם, יצחק ויעקב, בני שרה רבקה רחל ולאה. עברי אנוכי ויעש השם אלוקי השמיים אני יורד, 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 עברי אנוכי ויעש השם אלוקי השמיים אני יורד. A little bit of history I've been through. Ask me where I'm from and I will tell you I'm a Jew and every Jew's a proud Jew. Not just me, my sisters and my brothers, never be ashamed to be a proud Jew. It's not what you've done, it's how he made you. So sing this song and spread the pride around you. Yehudi ani, eternally. Bnei Avraham, Yitzchak v'Yaakov, bnei Sarah Rivka Rachel v'Leah. Bnei Avraham, Yitzchak v'Yaakov, bnei Sarah Rivka Rachel v'Leah. Ivri anoichi v'yes Hashem elikei hashamayim ani yoreh. Ivri anoichi v'yes Hashem elikei hashamayim ani yoreh. Ivri anoichi v'yes Hashem elikei hashamayim ani
In just a few moments, but it's so nice to see all of you. We can be outdoors and safe together, and we're just so excited to be starting Shabbat together after so long, and to be celebrating love.
We're going to get us started with a song, because when we sing, we are one, and we are one. And when we sing, we also pray twice. So let's begin. As refrains tend to do, they repeat a lot. So you're going to learn this song and sing along with us. Clap along, sing along, whatever comes to you. Here we go. When we sing, when we sing, when we sing, we pray twice. When we sing, Rabbi Leder.
Oh, well. There we go. Shabbat Shalom, everyone. It's so good to see you. Those of you who are struggling with the sun, if you want, you can bring your chairs up and sit up here in the shade. I think that would, Ashkenazi Jews in the sun is just not a good situation unless you're a dermatologist. So don't be shy. Just move your chairs up to where it's shady. Come and sit on the grass if you'd like. Whatever. You can tell who moved here from the East Coast because they're just soaking it up, right? I know. So we want you to be comfortable. Again, Shabbat Shalom. Take a moment, COVID safely, to say hello to your neighbors in front of you, behind you.
Shabbat Shalom.
To your right, to your left. Say hello to each other.
Shabbat Shalom. Great.
And my last little announcement before we get started, Rabbi Nanus has put together a beautiful service for us. Rabbi Shapiro and I are going to help to lead it. Our 3 extraordinary cantors are here. We're now one congregation, and that's a beautiful thing. So I'm really very glad we're all up here together. Let's just see the hands of how many people are here who are new members of Wilshire Boulevard Temple, including those of you from university, etc. Great. Welcome. We're so glad you're here. And those of you who have been members of Wilshire Boulevard Temple for a while, you may not know Cantor Kerith Shapiro. Would you please stand up so everyone can see you? There she is. Welcome. This is what the whole merger was all about right here. It was just talent acquisition, period. That was it. One last thing. If you have a cell phone, which I know you do, take it out. Please make sure it's on silent, or if you can possibly stand it, just turn it right. Just turn it off. Unplug. Shabbat unplugged. All right. Rabbi Nanus, take it away.
So when you think about the Tanakh, which is the Hebrew Bible, you don't really think about romance and love. You think about prophets, you think about laws, you think about miracles, you think about kings, but we really don't think about beautiful, sensual love, except for one beautiful, small, short, 8-chapter book in the last part of the Tanakh, in the Ketuvim, in the section called the Writings, called Song of Songs, or Shir HaShirim. Shir HaShirim is filled with the most beautiful, erotic, sensual, and poetic words of love. It's the story of a young woman and her lover and their sexual and emotional awakening. And in the Shir HaShirim, we read passages like, things you may have heard but not known they were from Shir HaShirim. Kiss me, make me drunk with your kisses. Your sweet loving is better than wine. Or let me lie among the vine blossoms in a bed of apricots. I am in a fever of love. And the most famous that we know, and is said at many Jewish weddings, is Ani ledodi v'dodi li. I am my beloved and my beloved is mine. And the Shir HaShirim was so popular and so beloved that Rabbi Akiva, the great Talmudic scholar, said, all of the Hebrew Bible, the Tanakh, is holy, but Shir HaShirim is the holy of holies. So how could the rabbis justify putting this in the Bible, in the Tanakh? I mean, it's a very sensual book. But they couldn't leave it out, and so they decided that it wasn't really between a man and a woman. It was between God and the Jewish people. It was all a metaphor. Then they could justify putting Shir HaShirim in the Tanakh. But we know that's really not true. I mean, many modern scholars don't agree. However, the way that they interpreted it was very beautiful. For example, Ani ledodi v'dodi li, I am my beloved and beloved is mine. The acronym is Elul. The month of Elul is coming up. This is the month right before the high holidays, where we, in fact, reconnect with God, with love, and with our loved ones by making amends and repairing our relationships. So Elul, which is starting this Monday, is considered the month of love.
Hit'oreri by Suzanne Sobransky. Wake, my beloved, awake and arise.
You cause me to
me which cannot be disguised.
In the land of our forebears, you arrived as a beacon. Without you, I am lost. Without me, your purpose fades.
You are love, as I am love. We are two of a kind.
You are loved as I am loved. Each a gift the other will find. As one we endure, and as one we survive. As one we are, as one we are, as one. We're going to bring in that light of Shabbat 3 times. Outdoor services always have a bit of a challenge with staying lit, but we're going to hold on to that light in our hearts and in our souls and in our bodies as we enter into Shabbat together. Baruch atah Adonai melech haolam asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lehadlik ner shel Shabbat. Shabbat shalom, everyone.
Shabbat shalom.
Shalom Aleichem is a song where we welcome in the angels of peace for on high. But sometimes human beings can be angels. Malachim, malach, the word for angel, also means messenger. So tonight, let us be the angels, bringing in the Shabbat of peace and love for ourselves and each other as we sing Shalom Aleichem on page 26.
24, you can also find it on page 24.
Shalom Aleichem, Malachei Hasharei, Malachei Elyon, Melech Malchei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu.
Malachem l'shalom, Malachei Hashalom, Malachei Idechem Shalom, Malachei HaShalom, Malachei Elyon, Melech Malachei HaMelachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu, HaKadosh Baruch Hu, HaKadosh Baruch Hu.
Tonight is a Shabbat service dedicated to love. And those of us who are blessed and fortunate enough to have children know that children are the purest form of human love. And we have a beautiful child here with us. I'm going to ask Stephen and Shana to come on up. We're hoping this goes well. You never know. Watch the cord. Good job. You know what? I think it's going to go better if I come down here. Whoop. Okay. First of all, introduce us to everyone. Tell them who he is.
This is Skylar, Aiden Jack Dunner.
And how old is Skylar?
He is 2 years, almost 6 months.
And look what he knows how to do. Skylar, hey, buddy,
Skylar.
Remember? What do we do? There we go. Okay. All right. So it's my, well, hi, Shana. It's now my honor, really, to bestow upon Skylar his Hebrew name, which you're going to hear in just a moment. But before that, I want to say a word about what not only what Skylar represents, but what all children represent. Chassid taught that every single child carries his or her own unique blessing into the world. O Lord our God, grant unto Stephen and Shana wisdom to teach their son the Torah, knowledge to rear him with a generous love for all human beings, and the sensitivity to nourish the full flowering of his potentials. Be praised, O eternal source of life. Go ahead and read that.
O Lord our God, with thankfulness of the birth of our child, we express our joy and gratitude. May we fulfill our task of teaching our son to care about his heritage and to live by the values and ideas of our traditions.
With wisdom and love, may we nurture in our child the yearning to wear the crown of a good name. Grant to him years of harmony and peace.
Eloheinu ve'Elohei avotenu v'imotenu, kayam et hayeled hazeh la'aviv u'le'imo v'yikare shmo b'Yisrael, Yaakov Douglas ben Shana v'Yisrael Moshe. Our God and God of our people, sustain this beautiful child, and let him be known in the house of Israel as Yaakov ben Shana v'Yisrael Moshe. May the one who blessed our people bless him and keep him from all harm. May his parents rear him to dedicate his life in faithfulness to God, his heart receptive always to Torah and mitzvot, so that he will be a blessing to his sister, to his parents, his grandparents, great-grandma Jean who's here, Mazel Tov Jean, to his people, and we hope to all the world. Please join me in the Shehachianu. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, Shehachianu, v'kiyamanu, v'higianu, lazman hazeh. Amen. Mazel Tov. Everybody ready? Mazel Tov and Mazel Tov and Siman Tov. Siman Tov and Mazel Tov and Mazel Tov and Siman Tov. Siman Tov and Mazel Tov and Mazel Tov and Siman Tov. Yehelanu, 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 Olechol Yisrael. Yehelanu, Yehelanu, Olechol Yisrael. Yehelanu, All right.
Next year will be hers.
Yes, I'll be ready.
Remember, you had a lot of.
Yes, I know. I know. Shabbat shalom and mazel tov to you guys. That went pretty well, I thought. Okay. Use the stairs. I think that's a good idea.
Yeah. You need a mic, Susan.
Well, okay. Lecha dodi likrat kala, come, my beloved, and let us welcome the bride. Who is your beloved? We always focus on the bride, but what about you and your beloved? Is it your spouse, your partner, your friends, your family, your colleagues, your community? Who is your beloved? Is it your own soul, which deserves the same love as you give to others? So connect to your beloved if they're not here, or if they're within, or take the hand of your beloved right now, and let us greet the Queen, the bride of Shabbat.
There's a 2-drink minimum tonight. It just occurred to me that I introduced Cantor Kerith Shapiro to our Wilshire Boulevard Temple members, let me introduce Cantor Lisa Peicott and Cantor Don Gurney to all of those who've joined us from University Synagogue. It's the Mount Rushmore of cantors here at Wilshire Boulevard Temple. All right. Shabbat Shalom again, everyone. Who's up?
We'll turn now to page 28. Page 28, and we'll rise for the Baruch.
Take this beautiful meditative introduction to calm yourself. Calm your mind, calm your spirit, calm your body as we make our way from the rest of the week and now formally into the peace and serenity of Shabbat.
Ahavat olam Beit Yisrael amcha achavta. Everlasting love you have for your people Israel. Ahavat olam speaks of God's love for us. But it's not only the kind of emotional love that we so often think about that's present in our relationship with other human beings. Because God's love is also shown through behavior. God's love is expressed in the gift of Torah, of mitzvot, of a moral and ethical compass to guide us through life. It's a bit like a parent whose unconditional love for their child is also expressed in teaching that child the skills by which to live. So too, God's love is shown to us by revealing ways for us to live rich, blessed, and meaningful lives. Page 32.
Ahavat olam Beit Yisrael amcha avta Torah u'mitzvot ukim u'mishpatim otanu limadta al ken Adonai Eloheinu b'shortenu v'kumenu nasiach bechukecha al ken Adonai Eloheinu b'shortenu v'kumenu nasiach bechukecha
תסיר ממנו לעולמים. ברוך אתה אדוני אוהב עמו ישראל. שמע ישראל אדוני אלוהינו אדוני אחד. ברוך שם כבוד מלכותו לעולם
Can have a seat, friends. And I'm going to invite you to turn in your Sidurim to page 36. You'll see the words Ve'ahavta, which we so often chant together using our Torah trope. Today we're going to do something different, but before we do that, I want you to look at those first three words in the down there. Hello. Hi. So take a look at the first three words in the English there. You shall love. It's not maybe love. It's not you are invited to love. It's not will you love. You shall. You shall love. It's really interesting that we're commanded to love here with these words of Ve'ahavta. We're commanded to love God, and then we're given a whole list of ways in which our actions can show our love for God. And as we chant these words, and Cantors Don Gurney and I are going to sing a very special version of the Ve'ahavta that comes to us from Israeli composer Yehezkel Braun this evening. As we chant these words, you can think about ways in which you personally can show your love for God. And I think that you can do that also by showing your love for one another here in this moment. So Ve'ahavta, page 36.
תמלאות על ידיך והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך וקשר תמלאות על ידיך והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך ובשעריך וקשר המלאות על ידיך והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך ובשעריך ובשעריך וקשרת המלאות על ידיך והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך.
In just a moment, we'll join together in Mi Chamocha in our song of redemption. There's an old story that a rabbi was once asked by a student, "Rabbi, how far are we from redemption?" The rabbi replied, "As far as east is from west." Do you know how far that is? The student answered, "About 12,500 miles. That's halfway around the world." Another offered, No. East is exactly 25,000 miles from west, all the way around the world." After a few more responses, the rabbi told them, "It's very simple, my friends. The distance from east to west is one step. You're facing east, you take one step and turn around, and now you're facing west." The month of Elul that begins Sunday night, this month of preparation for the High Holy Days, reminds us of just how close redemption is. All we have to do is turn around, change our direction, change our approach, change ourselves, and change the world. Mi Chamocha, page 40.
חזק ממנו, ברוך אתה אדוני, גאל ישראל. אמן.
Let there be love and understanding among us. Let peace and friendship be our shelter from life's storms. Adonai, help us to walk with good companions, to live with hope in our hearts and eternity in our thoughts, that we may lie down in peace and rise up waiting to do your will. Hashkivenu, page 42.
Let there be love and understanding among us. Let peace and friendship be our shelter from life's storms. Let there be love and understanding among us. Let peace and friendship be our shelter from life's storms. Understanding among us, let peace and friendship be our shelter from life's storms. Let there be love and understanding among us. Let peace and friendship be our shelter from life's storms.
We join in Vishamra. Vishamru v'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat la'asot et ha-Shabbat v'dorot ha-meridolah. Vishamru v'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat la'asot et ha-Shabbat v'dorot ha-meridolah. Beni u'ben bnei Yisrael, oti le'olam. V'shamru
bnei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat la'asot et ha-Shabbat le'dorot ha-meridolah.
Ki sheshet yamim asa Adonai et ha-shamayim et ha-shamayim uvayom ha-shevi Shabbat
ינפש ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם.
Let's turn to page 46 and we rise for the Amidah.
אתה אדוני אלוהינו ואלוהי אבותינו ואמותינו, אלוהי אברהם, אלוהי יצחק ואלוהי יעקב, אלוהי שרה, אלוהי רבקה, אלוהי רחל ואלוהי לאה, האל הגדול, הגיבור והנורא, אל עליון, גומר חסדים טובים וקונה הכל, וזוכר חסדי אבות ואימהות, ומביא גאולה לבני בניהם, למען שמו באהבה, מלך עוזר ומושיע ומגן. ברוך אתה אדוני מגן אברהם בעזרת שרה, אתה גיבור לעולם אדוני, מחיי הכל אתה, רב להושיע, מוריד הטל, מכלכל חיים בחסד, מחיי הכל ברחמים רבים, סומך נופלים ורופא חולים, ומתיר אסורים, ומקיים אמונתו לשני עפר. מי כמוך בעל גבורות ומדום מלך, מלך ממית ומחיה ומצמיח ישועה, ונאמן אתה להחיות הכל. ברוך אתה אדוני מחיי הכל.
Pause now for some moments of silent prayers of our hearts.
you haven't completed your prayers, please take your time. There's no rush. We ask at the end of our Amidah for abundant peace. In a time that is so chaotic this year, that we just pray not only that we have abundant peace in our world, but during such craziness that each one of us is still able to find that abundant peace within.
Shalom Rav, Shalom Rav, Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha. Shalom Rav, Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha. Tasim leolam. Shalom Rav. Ki ata melech adon, melech adon, levol hashalom. Ki ata melech adon, melech adon, levol hashalom. Shalom Rav, Shalom Rav, Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha. Shalom Rav, Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha. Tasim leolam. V'tov beinecha levarech et amcha Yisrael bechol עת ובכל שעה בשלומך, Shalom Rav, Shalom Rav Yisrael Amcha. Tasim leolam. Shalom Rav, Shalom
Priest.
It does not get more. I guess I can't be in front of the speakers. Okay. Do you have a hand mic? Can I do a hand mic in front of the speakers?
No, it's just the physics.
Ay, 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 ay. The rabbis of old never had such problems. Yes. I wanted to be down closer to everyone. First of all, does it get any more beautiful than what we just heard? So beautiful. Thank you. Three of you. Susan, where are you? I want to introduce you to all our Wilshire Boulevard Temple members. Susan, come on, stand up, let people see you. Susan is the accompanist who has now joined us from the University Synagogue team. And for those of you from University Synagogue, Bill Beck, where are you, Bill? Please say hello to Bill Beck, who's our accompanist. And Bill, 48 years playing for Wilshire Boulevard Temple. Susan, how many years ago did you start tutoring B'nai Mitzvah? 5 years ago. University for third? How many years? 47 years.
Bill wins by 1 year. He gets a Golden Kippah award.
47 and 48 years. So that says something about both places. It really does. This is a time in our service when we think about people we love who are ill. And we do that by singing the Misha Berach together. It's on page 252, I'm sorry. 253. It's on both pages, which is why it's a problem. But page 253 is the version we're going to do. Sometimes some prayers feel more relevant than others, to be honest. Sometimes I say the Shema and I feel the oneness of it all, and sometimes I say the Shema and I question the oneness of it all. Sometimes I say Kaddish and it's rote, and sometimes I say Kaddish and it's my father's yahrzeit. So the prayers speak to us differently at different times of the year and different times of our lives. I cannot remember a time in my life when the Misha Berach spoke more powerfully than the past 18 months, and unfortunately continues to speak so powerfully. I had breakfast this morning with someone who was in the hospital completely isolated. And there are those of you here tonight who were in the hospital completely isolated. And Misha Berach is a way that we pierce the isolation of illness, the feeling of being in it alone. It's the way we let each other and our loved ones know that no matter where they are, we're with them. And no matter where we are, they are with us. And so tonight we're going to sing the Misha Berach. And if you have someone on whose behalf you'd like us to recite it tonight, I'm going to ask you to please stand. I can't get much closer than this, but I'll point to you. And please just mention the name or the names, and then you can be seated, and then we will sing the Misha Berach together. So, Barry? Helen?
שברך אבותינו אברהם, יצחק ויעקב, מי שברך אמותינו שרה, רבקה, לאה ורחל. May the one who blessed our mothers, may the one who blessed our fathers, hear our prayer.
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 Hear our prayer. And bless us as well. Bless us with the power of your healing. us with the power of your home. May our hearts be moved with understanding and strengthened by the power of your love. Mi sheberach avotenu, Avraham, Yitzchak, veYaakov. Mi sheberach imotenu, Sarah, Rivka, Leah, Rachel. May the one who blessed our mothers, may the one who blessed our fathers, hear our prayer. 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 Bless us as well. Hear our prayer. Hear our prayer. Hear our prayer. Hear our prayer. And bless us as
Shabbat Shalom again, everyone. What a beautiful night. We take a lot for granted, don't we? How great it is just to be together, right? Hine ma tovu manaim shevet achim gam yachad. Tonight, obviously, is devoted to love. The month of Elul is about love. And we're going to do a little experiment now, and you're going to help me, because we're going to try to define something that is undefinable, ineffable. This thing we call love, but that's just a word for something we really can't describe. But we're going to see if we can get our arms around it tonight. And let me just say at the beginning, there are many kinds of love. Many kinds of love. But tonight we're going to explore one kind to see if we can find some sort of common denominator to the question, what is love? So, if you have been married from 1 to 10 years, would you please stand up? 1 to 10 years. Okay, would you two please come on up here? Come on, this isn't going to hurt. Come on. Okay, all right. 11 to 20 years. Anybody here been married 11 to 20 years? Come on, you two. All right, stand over here. You can kind of figure out where this is headed, right? Okay. 21 to 30 years. Anyone here been married 20? Come on. Oh my goodness. Wow. Well, let's see. Let's have Barry and Andrew, because I know this is going to be funny. Come on up here. Okay, so that was 21 to 30, right? Yeah. Okay. That's not collectively, by the way. That's together. Just want to collectively it's a lot. Yeah, I just want to point that out, Barry. Okay. All right. 31 to 40. 31 to 40. Jan and Rick, come on up here. Oh, we're just getting warmed up. And somebody's keys for their Toyota are here. Who might that be? Okay, there we go. What a temple, huh? That was 31 to 40, right? Okay, 41 to 50. Barry, come on up. Oh, and me too? Yes, and you too. Bailey, come on. Okay. Wait. Okay, I'm just going to have one, guys. Sorry. Nope, we got one. I don't want to keep everyone here too long, okay? All right, so that was 41 to 50, right? 51 to 60. Come on up here, you two lovebirds. Come on. Now, I hesitate to ask, 61 to 70? Anyone? Not yet. Okay. All right, so we're going to, I'm going to ask each of you the same question, and we're going to see if we can find some common denominator. to what is this thing we call love, okay? It's not an embarrassing question, okay? I promise. So, first of all, introduce yourselves to us.
I'm Claudia.
Max.
Claudia and Max. And how long have you been married? You should know the answer to that question. Wow. You know how to remember your anniversary? Forget it once. Just a little tip, man to man on that one. Okay. So you've been married 3 years, about. Okay. All right. So the question is, how do you keep your love alive?
Starts with leaving the house. I think that's. Yeah. Yeah, that's my answer. Yeah.
Lots of date nights.
Say it again.
Date nights.
Date nights. You make time for each other, right? And that keeps, you make it a priority.
And for ourselves.
And for yourselves, yes. Okay. So, all right, very good. And I'm going to ask you one more question. In your minds, what is love?
Patience.
It's a promise.
Patience and a promise. It's beautiful. Make time for it. It's patience and a promise. Beautiful. Okay. All right. Introduce yourselves.
Susan.
I'm Anne.
And how long have you two been married?
20 years next week.
All right. Mazel tov. Happy anniversary. All right. So 20 years. How does one make one's love last for 20 years, for 2 decades?
Keep connecting with each other.
It just does.
No, it doesn't. Okay, let's try it. So far it has. It just does, because it's something that's just built into who you both are, right? Okay, so now I'm going to ask you that same question. What is love?
An indescribable connection.
I would have to agree with that.
Okay.
You know it when you see it.
And feel it. Yeah. Yes. Yeah. It's that thing that your parents say to you when you ask them, how do you know when it's the one? And they say, you'll just know. And it's so unsatisfying, but it's absolutely true. Right? So it's ineffable, indescribable, but you know it when you feel it. Okay. All right. Thank you both. Happy anniversary. Okay, you two lovebirds. How many years have you been married?
24.
24. Okay. All right. And this time. Yes, I got that. Yes, for the record. Barry's been married 120 years, actually, but he's done now, according to Andrea. Okay, so you have experience with this. What works, what doesn't? What is it that has kept your love alive?
For me, I think allowing him to be Barry and not trying to make him into something else.
Permission to be. Yeah. Barry?
The fact that she lets me be me and apologizing a lot.
And can you define love for us?
You know, the first word that comes to my mind is safety, which is not really what I would think, I would say, but it's some kind of peaceful, fulfilling place to be.
Safety is very closely related to the idea of trust, right? Huge. Yes. Okay, Barry?
Waking up next to her every day. Yeah. Knowing I'm next to the woman I need to be next to.
That, my friends, is how it's done. Yes, yes, yes. All right. Thank you both. All right. Rick and Jan, how many years?
35 in September.
35 this September. You just asked to check. Okay. And how do you keep your love alive?
Well, with Jan, it's pretty easy. I just feel good with her. I feel better with her than if I travel without her. I miss her all the time. Even now, and it's been 35 years. Actually, 38 years. And they asked me here when I was 25 years, and I said it was 60%, and that is, if you both give 60%, there's no such thing as 50-50 in marriage. It's 60% each, and you don't worry about it, a little bit this, a little bit that. And just, I know this sounds crazy, but some things Jen doesn't like to do. I try to do those things because that's easy for me. You know, whatever it is, I don't care. And I'm just very grateful that I'm with Jan all the time.
Rick does the laundry.
Understood. You know, I actually, for something I'm working on, I asked 40 different people, what is love? And pretty much the common denominator was that you care about the other person's needs above your own, that you give more than you take. And if you both do that, there's this magical thing that happens. And that can happen not just between spouses, but also between siblings and grandparents and children.
I say this when I travel and I'm in let's say a hotel room, I can't sleep without Jen. I mean, I just can't do it.
Yep.
I mean, I'm up all night.
Yep.
So,
Yep.
I like to be a travel with Jen.
And can you define love for us?
That's really it's hard. Just first of all, you have to have a lot of trust with each other. I think trust is really important. And I appreciate Jan every day, and I'm still as excited about being with her as I was the first week I met her.
Patience.
A little different here, you see that?
I thought you were going to say Rick does the laundry. Okay, beautiful, really, beautiful. Okay, Bailey, how many years?
44 at the end of August.
Okay, and what is the secret to keeping that love?
Barry does everything I tell him to do.
Barry, I hesitate to ask, but how does one keep one's love for the Empress alive?
I say yes, a lot. We're very lucky that we find laughter every single day. And it's the joyous part of our relationship that keeps that spirit of our relationship alive.
Laughter. Yeah. If you lose your sense of humor, you lose an awful lot. And how would you define love for us?
Communication.
Two being one.
Beautiful. Beautiful. Wow. Okay. All right. And now, how many years?
It'll be 58.
In 12 days.
12 days.
58 years in 12 days. Okay. All right. Stan and Risa, take us to school. How does one keep that kind of love alive?
Well, first of all, just a sense of profound respect for each other. Respect is at the core of our relationship.
That's what I was going to say. So
Oh,
that's
so-
good.
well, she said it first, right? Right?
Okay.
And having fun, having a lot of fun together, and mutual respect. That's very important. And support.
And now, can you give us a try at defining love? What is it in a word or two?
Two souls kindling fire together.
Sharing all values and not wanting to be with anybody else.
Can't breathe
in the whole world
without her. I could not imagine breathing without her.
Wow. So, without overstating it, I hope we've all had the chance to learn something from all of you tonight. And I want to close with a thought from the rabbis about love. the Hebrew word for marriage. There are a couple, but the main one is nisuin. The Hebrew word nisuin, it comes from the word to carry. If you've ever seen a groom carrying a bride, or a groom carrying a groom, or a bride carrying a bride over a threshold, or a bride carrying a groom over a threshold, I think I've covered it. It's from this Hebrew word for marriage, which means to carry each other, to hold each other up, to lift each other up. And that's the spirit of every single story we heard tonight. Congratulations on your love, and thank you for being our teachers tonight. And all of us have someone to love, someone to carry, and someone to carry us. And let's count that as our greatest blessing during this month of love. Shabbat Shalom, everyone. Thank you, guys. Thank you, everyone.
As we begin to conclude, we'll turn to page 282, the bottom of the page, and we'll rise for Aleinu.
עלינו לשבח לאדון הכל.
לתת גדולה ליוצא בראשית, שלא עשנו
כגויי הארצות, ולא שמנו כמשפחות האדמה, שלא שם חלקנו כהם, וגור עלינו ככל המונם. ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא. ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ ביום ההוא, ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד, ושמו 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 אחד.
We can be seated. We turn our thoughts now to sacred moments of memory, moments of Kaddish, as we think of loved ones, family members, members of our community who are no longer with us. If you're here tonight to say Kaddish for a loved one, we ask that you rise at this time. We begin by thinking of those for whom we're in a period of shloshim, those who have died during these past 30 days. As we call to mind Norman Cohen, Maury Dickman, Joan Levine Eichberg, Edith Fisher, Marvin Frankel, Sandra Geller, Jean Grossman, Janet Peskin, Jessica Allison Schroeder, Tony Barrios Vega, Gabriel Weiss, and Mimi Wolfson. We add to their names the names of those whose yahrzeits occurred during this past week. Rose Begelman, Barbara Lerner Barrett, David Begelman, George Berkovici, Nesta Berger, Leah Bergman, Stanley Blatt, Louis Beaumont, Rhoda Brandel, Seymour Brostoff, Benjamin Birkin, Daniel Kolner, Dora Dan, Lou DeLevy, Rose DeLevy, Adine Edwards, June Elan, Robert Ellison, Carlos Farber, Harry Farkas, Alan Feldman, Frank Fenton, Caroline Fisher, Zelda Foreman, Disa Freilich, Beverly Friedman, Irving Friedman, Sandra Geller, Sheldon Allen Geller, Max Goldstein, Bernard Grad, Peter Grad, Jacob Hakak, Michael Harris, Murray Heichman, Hetty Hertz, Hattie Isaacs, Muriel Jackson, Edward Kalmar, Marshall Kaplan, Rona Kaufman, Jonas Benton Kelsall, Maury King, William Klein, Musa Kohanzadeh, Henry Kreshik, Manny Kugler, Larry Lauterbach, Judith Wolf-Lee, Rosalind Lefko, Bernard Leisner, Marketa Lisak, Esther Levin, Francis Levinson, Ava Grace Liadowicz, Max Lieberman, Alicia Lindheim, Benjamin Lindy, Pauline Loebman, Jenny Markowitz, William Melvin, Robert Mendelson Jr., Anna Mitchell, Brian Nelson, Fran Newberg, Lillian Ott, Julia Catherine Perlman, Ruth Peskin, Edgar Phillips Jr., Larry Phillips, Thomas Pollock, Lillian Price, Davida Racine, Maxine Rice, Paula Ritter, Gilbert Robinson, Edith Rogers, Donald Rose, Frank Rosenfeld, Marion Rosenstein, Herbert Rubin, Evelyn Schwartz, Stephen Shaw, Stanley Sherman, Ida Siegel, Dina Sode, Gilda Spiegel, Ida Steiner, Susan Cohn Stotsky, Rudolfo Sakowicki, Harold Sussman, Murray Weinstein, Anna Bell Weiss, Jonathan Weiss, Celia White, Sam White, Rabbi Alfred Wolf, Lawrence Wolfen, and Moshe Aaron Young. If there are names to add or a name that I've mispronounced, please feel free to add it at this time. We also call to mind those to whom we are grateful but do not know, those who have fallen defending the flags of the United States of America, the State of Israel, and all the innocent victims of senseless terrorism and violence all over the world, and everyone who has no one to say Kaddish for them. Zichronam livracha, may their memories always be for a blessing. The Mourner's Kaddish is on page 294. We rise. Yitgadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabbah. Be'alma divrach chilutei v'yamlich malchutei. V'chaye echon v'yom echon. V'chaye d'chol Beit Yisrael. Ba'agala v'zman kari v'imru. Amen. Yehi shemei Rabbah mevarach le'alam u'lalmei almaya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitroman v'yitnaseh. V'yitadar v'yitaleh v'yitalal shemei d'kudsha b'richu. Le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata. Tush bechata v'nechemata. Ta'amiran be'alma ve'imru. Amen. Yehi shalama rabba min shemaya. V'chayim alenu ve'al kol Yisrael ve'imru. Amen. Oseh shalom b'mromav. Hu yaseh shalom. Alenu ve'al kol Yisrael ve'imru. Amen.
We're going to end tonight with this classic of American pop music, composed by the great Burt Bacharach, with words by Hal David. You can guess, on this evening of love.
What the world needs now is love, sweet love. It's the only thing that is just true love. What the world needs now is love, sweet love. No, not just for some, but for everyone. Lord, we'll need another mountain. There are mountains and hillsides enough to climb. There are oceans and rivers enough to cross, enough to last till the end of time. What the world needs now is love, sweet love. It's the only thing that is just true love. What the world needs now is love, sweet love. No, not just for some, but for everyone. for some, oh, but just for everyone. Shabbat shalom, everyone.
We'll see you. We didn't say, I don't think. We'll see you next Friday night at University Synagogue. Rabbi Leder and I will be there to lead Shabbat services. So hope we all see you.
But before you go,
That's
we have
right.
to do Kiddush and Motzi. But before we do Kiddush and Motzi, there is a very special birthday that is happening somewhere on this bima. So if we could get our own beloved Rabbi Susan Nanus, and if we can all sing her happy
How
birthday. Her
appropriate.
birthday is
The
on
first day of Elul
Monday.
is your birthday.
Let's all join, everyone.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Susan. Happy birthday to
And last but not least, a little Kiddush and Motzi. Cantor Gurney, take us away.
Hey, it's over there. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei peri hagafen. It's cold and getting dark, so that's the short version. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam hamotzi lechem min haaretz. Amen. Shabbat shalom, everyone.